Welcome everybody. Today is Bitcoin. We're going to do some analysis on. We see some craziness just happen. Again, the channel is Philly Crypto Trading Plus. My name is Tony. We're going to cover Bitcoin today because we see some craziness that just happened. And hey, if you guys are all confused by that, well, this is a good time to get some perspective on it. And that's what we're here to do today. Okay. So with that in mind, what we're going to cover today, we're going to talk a little bit about some Fibonacci levels. We're going to talk a little bit about ascending parallel channel and how it plays a role in what's going on. We're certainly going to have an explanation of what just happened and what we think is going on and where we're going to go to next. Also, we're going to talk about some expiration dates and things like that. And I will refer you back to some older videos, and we'll talk about that in just a second and how this is important, plays a role in what's going on right now. We'll also be looking at the Bitcoin in some multiple time frames for some perspective, okay? With that in mind, guys, before we get started, please make sure that you hit the like, share, subscribe button. It helps out the algorithms. And make sure you comment below, hey, I subscribed for new subscribers, and I'll certainly personally respond to your comments, okay? Also, make sure you give the thumbs up. It's really important, and it helps out the algorithms, like I said again. So with that in mind, guys, let's just get right to it. So what we're looking at right now is a daily time frame, okay? Now, I want you to take notice here, guys. This is an older chart I came back to because I keep talking to you guys about the predictability of what's going on. So notice here the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. Look at this. 47,473. What do you know? And we talked about the 48,000 in the past as well. Notice this here. Well, look at this, guys. Big sell-off. What was it, 19% in several hours? Well, look where we stopped at. What do you know? Look at that. And then, of course, we got a nice V-shaped bottom. This doesn't really show it, but it's a nice V-shaped bottom that's forming. That generally, see how we've snapped back? That generally happens because, you know, we were overly leveraged, large leverage positions. We sell off, we come down to the bottom, and of course, now we don't have any more sellers, which is certainly a positive sign in the long run. So that's why we've snapped back up off that low so much, which is good long term. Short term, it scares the crap out of people. But listen, guys, don't worry too much. Now, what I wanted to talk about before we get into some of the time frames and perspective, just in a nutshell, guys, this, in my opinion, was a liquidation event. Okay, and I'm going to talk about and show you how that's happened before. But the point is, we've got expiration date on Friday coming up, Bitcoin, the expiration, okay? So here we are on a Sunday sell-off, the day I happen to take off, right? And but it's the beginning of the week of expiration, so I think that certainly plays a decent role in that, okay? So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to show you what I think was a consolidation event, liquidation event, you might say. So we sell off here, right? But notice how we hit these predictive levels. Well, let's go back and just take a quick look here. What did we have? This is going back at the beginning of January. Now, I want you guys, for perspective, okay? Very predictable. Always plays out this way. Go back and listen to my older videos back in early January, right when I started the channel. What was I saying? I was giving warnings. Hey, I think give several warnings, guys, just to give you an idea. And then, of course, we led right up to this, and what happened? Boom, we had a big sell-off. That's what I was talking about, guys, right around in here. Go back and look at the videos. Now, notice I always put the dates in my videos, guys, because you can see what I said, you can see when I said it, okay? So the numbers don't lie, the details and facts don't lie. They tell the story. So you'll find that I was talking about this, and then bang, we had this big sell-off. But notice here, that's when we started forming the parameters of this nice channel. So we bottomed out there. Notice how we had this nice V bottom again, and we bought back up. So this is more of a liquidation event, again, consolidation, whatever you want to call it. It was just a time, guys. We had run up too much, too fast. Why do I say that? Well, Lise, I don't know. We go back to October, November. What would be like 10,000? Let's take a look. You see here, we had a little liquidation event here. Boom, for the bottom of our triangle, boom, up and out, right? So we go back. Let's just take a look here, guys. We're going back into November, okay? Look at this. Back in early October, we're 10,000 points, guys. So here we are, coming back to 58,000. We've run a lot, guys. You know, from the 30,000 to the 58, we've basically doubled. So it's not surprising at all. And you shouldn't be too scared and alarmed by this pullback. This is a liquidation event. I'm going to keep saying it. Okay? So you see how all this plays out. This has happened time and time again. So we'll probably end up going to some sort of a consolidation at this point. So looking on a shorter time frame, guys, I want to point this out to you. This is a 4-hour time frame. I've drawn this ascending parallel channel for you so you can get a better perspective here. Also notice here, this was a triangle that was drawn that we moved up out of back in early February, right? Okay, so we moved up and out of there, right? Well, look at this slam down. There's our line, guys. Look at that right there. Wow, what a coincidence. Stopping at the top of that triangle. How many times have I said this to you guys? Predictability, predictability, patterns, history, okay? Again, the purpose of this channel is to teach you, okay? So with that in mind, nice bounce off there. And what do we have here? I wanted to point this out to you guys because, you know, I've been stressing for several weeks, guys, about keeping your stops tight. For traders, this is, you know, keep your stops tight. I've been talking to you repeatedly in the last videos you listen. I keep alluding to this. Always protect against that downside. Always protect. And I've talked in some of my videos, and I've even mentioned, I talked specifically about trading, and I think in early January. You might want to go try to find that as well. But the bottom line is I've talked about trading in the comments and what we're doing. So this is what I want to point out. We had a nice parallel channel here that was forming, okay? Boom, 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 up and out, right? Well, what I wanted to see here, we'll just get rid of that for a second. See, we had a parallel channel form, right? And I'm always telling people 3 to 7%, depending on your tolerance level and how aggressive you may be for trading, right? So here we go. Take a look at this here. Here's our top. We're moving through this parallel channel. We're coming up, right? Now, watch this real quickly. From the top of that, from the top there, right? We come down. And that, by the way, was a short-term trend line that we're using right there, okay? Look at that. That's 3% right there, guys. Let me, let's do this one more time. Okay. One more time, guys. Watch this. That's 3% right there, guys. Okay, so if you're following my rules for traders of 3 to 7%, look at that. There's that short-term trend line that we broke, and it's right at that 3%. Again, guys, this is not a coincidence, okay? So we had a short-term trend line that we broke, you know, and then, of course, we've got, well, I should say a support, you might say. Once we broke that support, guys, that was your clue. Of course, you should already have your stops in because I continue to tell you as the stock moves up, so I say stock, as the coin, doesn't really matter what we call it. It just matters it's a medium for trading and making money. So as we move up, guys, you move your stops with it, right? And if you're doing that, boom, you'd have been stopped out around here, anywhere from that 3 to 7, depending on your tolerance. However, so we've gone, again, we were overextended out of this channel, okay? Now we've come back into the channel, and look at this. Not only did we touch the bottom, but we snapped up, and look where we're forming right here, right at the 53,000 and some change. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we go back to my last Bitcoin video, and even the one before that, I believe I was talking about 53,000. So if not a coincidence that that's where we have stopped, okay? So again, guys, predictability, patterns, okay? So that's the 4-hour time frame. We're going to go through that, okay? Now, on a shorter 1-hour time frame, I wanted to show you this. Now, this is the MACD here, guys. Look at this. Look how we flattened out and moved up, and we have a nice crossover, right? And same thing with our RSI. We got into oversold area down here, boom, up and out, right? So I just want to give you an idea there. Now, looking at the channel and the predictability, okay? Here's our support level that we came down to that 53. We formed a support here, and that's where we stopped. So there's our upper level that we would like to get through again, right? But let's just zoom in on this for just a second. What does this look like, guys? Haven't we talked about this before? Sure we have. Look at that. Nice little double bottom. This is on an hourly time frame, guys. So remember, fundamentally, we're not ready to just take off and go up. But on a 1-hour time frame, we're looking at areas where we'll be stopping at. So again, guys, the W, boom, boom, boom. A W bottom is what we call this, right? And notice how we broke through our, right there, that channel, okay? right on out of there, right? That's the neckline that I talked about, right? So what do we talk about when we break out the neckline? A lot of times we may come back and test that, right? So here we are. Let's see what happens next. This is why we watch, guys, okay? But again, this is on a 1 hour time frame. So this is just giving you perspective, guys, from different time frames that we're starting to find bottoms, and we notice that these levels are all coinciding with one another, right? Now, I want to lastly talk about this. This is the weekly time frame, whereas, like I said before, we run up, we get our little consolidations, and then we move on up. Same thing here, slam down, boom. So here we go. This is the area that I was talking about in early January, where we finally got our reset, so to speak, a liquidation event. And then, of course, we reset our MACD, our RSIs, and then I was bullish again. So with that in mind, guys, this is just nothing more than the same kind of event here. So on a weekly time frame, we haven't broken anything yet, okay? We're still, pattern-wise, it's still intact, okay? On a daily time frame, of course, we did break that, but on the weekly time frame, not just yet, okay? But I want to caution you guys and bring to your attention, this is the monthly time frame, okay? February, we've got another week left, and of course, we've got the expiration on Friday the 26th. That's 2 days before the end of the month. So this is a monthly time frame. Notice we haven't really extended up through January's nice run. So that is something to always keep in the back of your mind. Be cautious, protect yourself, keep your stops tight, because you never know, guys. This could turn around and just give us a quick slam down. We don't know yet. But what we do know right now is February has not extended from Monday's gains, and always want to keep that in the back of your mind. Always keep the perspective, guys, okay? So with that in mind, I hope this helps you guys. I want to give you a quick little explanation of what's happened. And I do want to, just for a quick second, let's talk about where we think we're going to go. Well, going back to this weekly time frame, actually, let's just look at a daily. Once we pull back, see, we had a sideways consolidation pattern that formed, and I believe this is probably what we're probably going to be looking for next. So right now, with this move, where do we go back up to? Well, chances are probably in this 56 area, 55 and some change. And then that might end up being a higher low, okay? And then once we have a higher low, we may come back down, just as the parameters of this channel have formed. So this is kind of what we're going to be looking at, guys. This is my take on things right now. I hope this has been helpful. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about this kind of stuff and how it plays a role in future prices, make sure you watch this next video.